Hey St. Peter, my name is Brian Booth. I'm the Executive Director of Ministry Support here at St. Peter. We want to welcome you to our first Vision video update. I'm here with Pastor Greiner, and we just wanted to catch you up on what's been happening here and where we're kind of headed in the coming months and years. So in case you missed our Vision Forum earlier this month, we'll answer some of those questions here. So Pastor, how's your summer going so far?
So far so good. Sarah and I and the kids are trying to relax as much as we can. It's been a busy stretch this past year, perhaps one of the heaviest for us in ministry so far, but so far so good, and we're looking forward to a few weeks of vacation here coming up.
Great. Yeah, summer ideally provides that opportunity to kind of refocus, refresh, so glad to hear that. So we just, at St. Peter, ended one fiscal year and are entering into a new fiscal year. We've started off strong this fiscal year, but what can you tell us about our overall financial picture?
Yeah, we're just kind of finalizing all the numbers from the last fiscal year, and we knew throughout the year that there was a risk we wouldn't hit our mark with our big goal of a 15% increase in regular tithes and offerings. And sure enough, we didn't make it all the way to 15, you know this. But we did a little bit better than we were projecting in the budget season. So altogether, around about a 7% increase. We feel pretty good about that. We did have an operating loss, first one in the last several years, and we're making some adjustments for that. But I've been encouraged by the first few years, or the first few months here in July, first few weeks here in July, and hopefully that trend will continue. Especially, there's been a few people who have, on their own, been giving some additional gifts above and beyond to help give us a fresh start in this new fiscal year. That's very good to see.
Yeah, and as part of that, we've seen Generation Next come to a close. And we still have the new building, obviously, being used in all kinds of great ways. So how does that play out with Generation Next ending and still having the mortgage for our new building?
Yeah, I mean, that's a great question. Actually, about a year ago, we officially closed the capital campaign, but there are a number of people who are continuing to give, whether they're finishing their own pledges or for whatever reason want to make a gift to Generation Next. In the last fiscal year, we put that into the capital campaign pot. There's around about $24,000. I think in the next year, we're going to take whatever comes in that account and use it to help pay our mortgage payments, because that's one thing that Generation Next helped with. And we need to make a plan for moving forward. And that would be to invite people who have a desire to give something above and beyond to help pay the principal part of our mortgage. About $2,000 a week for the rest of the year and moving forward. And if we can get some additional gifts towards that, it would be a great way to help us also continue to grow our ministries. As I look at that side of the building and everything we've done since 2010, 2011, it's been just exciting to see the new ministries we're able to do, encounter. American Heritage Girls has blossomed over in the Life Center. The preschool wing has been full every year. We're excited about that. So definitely was worth it. Now we have the ongoing obligation to fund it and pay for it and take care of it. And I think we're positioned to do that. And that's how we'll kind of handle things moving forward. So you'll hear more about it in the year ahead, ways that you can help with the mortgage payment as we adjust to that as part of our new way of life.
Yeah, and actually you'll see a letter coming out in the mail in the coming weeks talking more about that mortgage initiative. And if you want to give a gift, you can include that with your regular weekly contribution and note that on the check or the envelope. Or you can give online. If you go to our giving page, there's a mortgage initiative giving type that you can select. So to shift gears a little bit, we all know youth is a huge piece of who we are here at St. Peter, and we want to do our best to focus on that ministry. So what can you tell us about youth staffing here?
Yeah, absolutely. Since Pastor Rago took the call to Michigan, and by the way, I'm going to get to go see him. My wife and kids, we're going to hang out with Team Rago when we're in Michigan. We're excited for that.
Cool.
Since he left, one of the things we've heard loud and clear from the community here is our youth are so important to us, and we're very concerned about providing for them, keeping them connecting them, helping them grow. And so we've been looking at that and praying about it, and later this week, God willing, we'll offer a position to a new graduate from Concordia, Chicago to come in and focus specifically on youth. As a new full-time position, we're adjusting some things internally to make room for that, and we're very excited, God willing, should she join our team, to see what she can do with our youth. We also have another DCE part-time, Stephanie Hoopengarner. She and I were just talking this week about having her take a more active role in some of our confirmation program and helping build that as a strength to take kids from elementary through confirmation, middle school, and then on into high school. And so we're going to have a great team of individuals focusing in on youth more than ever before, and I think the time's right for that to help build some strength in that area of our ministry.
That's great news. I know a lot of people will be happy to hear that. How about the associate pastor side of things? I know some people are worried about the workload on you. So where are we at with that? How are you doing? What does that look like?
Yeah, like I said, summer has been great as an opportunity for me to just slow down and rest and spend time with my family. It's been much needed, and so I appreciate having that opportunity. We are continuing in the call process, looking for the associate pastor. Initially, we thought that he would have to also do the youth ministry. Now we've got DCE for that. It allows us to free him up and focus in particular on worship and on adult discipleship. And so we've got at least 3 individuals right now we identified before who are still viable candidates. I'm in contact right now with our district to bring in a few more names just so we know we've got a good, thorough list. And we'll review those into the fall and, God willing, be in a place to fill that position later on this fall or into the winter, which will be okay for me and the rest of our team here. We've got a couple retired guys who are helping out with weekend services, Pastor Paul as well, and so we'll be okay there. Even when we resume the full worship schedule in the fall. And then, God willing, have somebody in place around about Christmas time. That's the hope.
Okay, great. Well, we'll look forward to see what God has in store there. I want to give a quick facility update as well. There's some major improvements and projects that we're continuing to work on. Most notably the West Wing roof and HVAC. We are replacing late summer, early fall. So you'll probably see some of that work happening. We're also doing some remodeling of the boardroom and chapel to make that more accessible and user-friendly for people to use here at church. There's several other smaller projects and improvements going on, and we're led by a great team, led by Jim Thomas. So we have a lot of confidence in where we're going facility-wise. Even though it's an aging facility, we feel like we're really trying our best to keep up with everything and doing a good job of that. So
yeah, that reminds me, the couple other projects we have coming up are the west parking lot and the sanctuary, roof beams and the roofing there. We've got some good news on the beams that maybe it's not going to be as bad as we had feared. The west parking lot we know we got to deal with, and so we've started to do some initial conversation with the board, some leadership about putting together a larger scale campaign starting next year perhaps to address some of those needs as well as some of the rest of our vision, working with the district to help revitalize congregations in Chicago and start new things across this region. Some of that we've been talking about for a few years. It's really coming together now, and we'll be excited to make a more formal presentation to the congregation in the fall. But a bigger capital campaign as part of that will be an important part of the whole vision for the ministry moving forward.
Great. So along with that, I think when you look around St. Peter, it's clear that God's working. He has been for over 150 years. But there's kind of this sense of He's positioning us to do even greater things and maybe some things outside of this location. What can you tell us about the vision for the coming months and years of where God's taking us?
Yeah, I would say the same. I've said before, the fundamentals of St. Peter are strong. And the core committed membership and community that calls St. Peter home they're passionate, they're excited, they're as committed as ever. And even though we're going through a big transition with staffing, pastoral staffing, worship leaders, and so forth, I see it as an opportunity for us to turn into a new chapter and to take the strength of what we have, make it stronger, and press forward, both here in the Arlington Heights area, and then also, like I said, looking out to say, where can we be part of the mission of God to redeem and restore the whole Chicagoland region?
It's exciting.
And the district is very excited about this, working closely with the staff members and our district president there to advance this vision. And look forward later this fall to kind of fine-tuning it and the strategy behind it and presenting that to the congregation.
Okay. Well, good. Thanks for taking time to do this. Hopefully that gives you a quick update on what's happening, where we're going. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of Pastor or I here at church. And thanks for tuning in. After vacation. Good point.
So talk to him.
Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time. Have a great summer.
Bye.